Are you planning on moving your business from Microsoft to Google? Stop. A failed Office 365 to Google Workspace migration is one of the fastest ways to bring your entire business to a halt. We're talking lost emails, corrupted calendars, and your team unable to work. Hi, I'm Peter Moriarty, and I'm helping Peter create some of his videos while he helps support our customers. Look, I'm going to be straight with you. If you're planning to migrate email from Office 365 to Google, you need to understand the risks. Don't just click a button and hope for the best. This is proper technical work. We have migrated thousands of companies to Google Workspace over 15 years, and I'm going to share the 10 critical things we learned the hard way before you fire up that built-in Google Workspace migration tool and discover your plan is broken. Point number 1, less data, less problems. Before you do anything, force your team to conduct a full inbox cleanup. Here's what they need to do. The migration tool has a hard limit of 25 megabytes for attachments. Tell your team to download anything larger now. If they don't do this, they may miss out on emails they're expecting to come across to their new mailbox that'll be left behind in your old platform. Once you switch it off, it'll be gone for good. Make them empty their spam and trash folders right now. This is your one chance to start fresh. Less data means a faster, cleaner migration with fewer things that can go wrong. Point number 2, run small, fail fast. Create 2 to 3 test accounts and run the full migration process on them first. Use old staff accounts if you have them, and pick a heavy user, a light user, and someone with a complex folder structure. This test will show you the hidden problems and, most importantly, identify the system folders you need to skip. Point number 3, skip the system junk. Your test migration will show dozens of system folders you don't recognize. You must add these to the exemption list in the Google Admin Console. If you don't, the tool will pull over gigabytes of useless system data, cluttering your new accounts and killing your migration speed. The test reveals what needs to be skipped before you run it on your live accounts. Point number 4, the Microsoft God Mode permission. This is not a job for a standard user. You need a Microsoft admin account with proper permissions. The ideal access is Global Administrator, but Application Administrator is the minimum you can get away with. This specific role is required to connect the 2 domains and gives the tool back-end access to all user inboxes. Here's the important bit. You need to turn off 2-factor authentication for this account during the migration. I know that sounds risky, but it's necessary for less disruption during the process. The good news? This powerful role lets the migration run without you needing to change every user's password, which means way less disruption for your team. Point number 5. Disable Microsoft's handbrake. Microsoft wants to make leaving difficult. By default, their Exchange Web Service throttling policy will kill your migration. You have to lift it, and you need to add the right permissions. Here's how you do it. First, log into the Microsoft admin portal. Second, register and request for API permissions. Third, select both EWS and full access permissions for delegated and application permissions. Fourth, grant admin consent to proceed. Fifth, you'll see an option to lift policy temporarily. We recommend to do this for at least 180 days. If you skip this, your migration will be incredibly slow and fail with server timeout errors. Okay, as you can see, this is already getting technical. You're digging into admin panels and disabling Microsoft's built-in blockers. If this is already sounding like a nightmare you don't have time for, our team handles this every single day. We can run your entire migration for you with 0 downtime and make sure it's done right the first time. There's a link in the description to our Tech Done service for exactly this. But if you're determined to do it yourself, let's get to tip number 6. Point number 6, more users equals more speed. Do not break your migration into small batches of 5 or 10 users. Migrate everyone at the same time. And here's why. That throttling policy is based on concurrent migrations. The migration tool gets a certain data cap per mailbox. So 100 mailboxes gives you 100 times the data cap. Migrating in small groups will actually make the process slower and hit the cap. So go big. Point number 7, one plan, one click. Set one migration policy for all users and stick to it. For example, all data or data from the last 3 years. We tried to get clever and give 10 years of data to admins and 3 years to staff. This was a mistake. We had one 120 gigabyte admin account take 3 days to transfer, holding up the entire batch. Pick one setting for everyone. Learn from our mistakes. Point number 8, 99% is not 100%. You will have accounts stuck at 99% completion for hours, maybe even a day. Do not cancel. The migration from 0 to 99% is the email data. That last 1% is the tool applying all the labels, which were folders in Outlook. If you cancel at 99%, the user gets all their email, but it will be in one giant disorganized inbox. Be patient. The more folders a user had, the longer that 1% will take. Point number 9, it's okay to rerun if you mess up. If you mess up like canceling at 99%, it's okay. You can rerun the migration for that user. The migration tool is smart enough to not duplicate emails, events, or contacts. It checks the source and destination and just fills in the gaps. We had to do this for one executive whose labels didn't apply. We reran it and it fixed everything. Point number 10, this is not an afternoon job. Be patient. This is not a fast process. Our 150 user, 3 terabytes migration took a solid 2 weeks of active work and waiting. You will be staring at progress bars for days. This is normal. This is major IT infrastructure work. That's the 10 things you need to know. You need to clean your inboxes, run tests, skip system junk, get the right admin permissions, lift Microsoft's throttling, run everyone at once, and be incredibly patient, especially at that 99% mark. This is one of the highest risk projects a small business can run. A mistake here means lost data and your operations stop completely. If you want our team to review your plan before you click Migrate, book a free consultation with us. We'll help you spot the risks and build a plan that actually works. Drop a comment below if you've got questions, or let me know if you've attempted one of these migrations yourself. I'm curious what your biggest pain point was.